man. My name is host Eric. I'm the host of Talking with Famous People. I'm watching the first of the two play-in games that's on tonight. Howard versus Wagner. And I had a nice nap. Rachel's napping still. I had a nice nap earlier. Why, hello. So, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to Talking with Famous People, and then I'm going to open up this live stream in a new tab so I can see what people are saying. So, you know that my dealings with the plumber went okay. It's going to be a little more expensive than we thought, but in some sense, that was like part and parcel of the deal to begin with, you know. Have I been to New York? I have been to New York, but not for a long time. Rachel's from New York. She's from Long Island. And I'm actually quite pleased that I didn't get my Adderall today. I ever looked at a cat's butthole a little too long? No. I don't think so. So I'm feeling kind of, uninterested in life at the moment. I have had a second nap today, which was good. It's always helpful, you know. You're going to New York, huh? Well, that sounds fun. What are you going to do while you're in New York? Are you going to go see the Statue of Liberty? So, okay. I've blown my nose. I may have yet even another poop in me. I pooped multiple times today. At the moment, I think I'm probably fine. Michael Wheat, cool. Where are you at? I got some shrooms that might help you feel better. Shrooms probably wouldn't work on me particularly well right now because I just took them on Saturday night. I'll probably take them in a week or so again. I take them a little less than once a week, probably. Anyway, I have shrooms. I just don't want to take any right now. I think what I'll do actually, before I do anything else here, is pull at least one or two quick bong rips for posterity's sake. Salim Al Kathiri. Hello. Salim Al Kathiri. Oh, I feel better. I don't feel bad. I just feel kind of a little low energy. Have I done ketamine treatments? I mean, I've definitely done ketamine. don't know if I'd call it treatments or not, but yeah, I've done ketamine. I like it. It's cool. If you're into that sort of thing. Rachel really likes ketamine. Hi, Maddie the Avocado Girl. You are back and full of avocado. Um, sure. Hi, Mr. Oxlong. First name Mike. Pleasure to see you. Was that everything you were hoping for? All right. I poked it. He is wiser than 99% of people on this live. The 1% is me. Okay, well, that's cool. I don't try to get in any wisdom competitions with anybody. Yes, I am in California. No, I don't want some night tickles. Thank you. Amelia Girly Preppy only 245. Hello. Good to see you. Yeah, I'll go ahead and concede the wisdom competition to you, Salim. More people don't brag about intelligence. I don't think I did. What's a high thought that you've had already? The top of a mountain is tall. Would that count? Um, can I say balls? Yes. Hi, Niceville. Hyper on VR. Hi, I want to make your day a little better, but hey, if anyone's trying to bring you down, make sure you know you're loved. Well, thank you, Hyper on VR. Well, Salim has a good reason to brag. He's number one in his math class. I don't have that, so yes, I think with a bong, it definitely is how you use it. I'm a big believer in getting exactly the right size bong, not like the biggest bong I can get or whatever. Hi from England, says Rebecca Love. Hello from America, says Eric. Bye, Amelia. Você fez o curso? I'm 52, 52 years old. Thank you for asking. Family Roses 1412. What am I hitting? I'm hitting this bong. About to hit it. I think I'll put a little concentrate on top of the bowl first. Then, use the torch probably to hit it. We'll put your so-called. That's what I get for trying to show you. Just made me spill concentrate for no good reason. Put these so-called dabs there. Even though I'm not technically going to use a dabber of any sort. I don't know what strain of weed it is, because we just sort of accidentally had a bunch of weed fall in our lap. So I don't know what it is, but I'm 52. This concentrate, well, when I first got it, it was in a box that said what it was, but now I don't know what it is. The wisest person in this live, along with being wiser than 100% of people in this live. No, he's not wiser than 100% of people in this live, because the wisest person in this live is also in this live. So he comprises a percentage of the live that he's not wiser than. No, I'm not jerking off. I had sexual intercourse with my wife not that long ago. Why would I want to jerk off? Alaskan Thunderfuck is a great strain. Yeah, it's not bad. But I'm partial to more sativa heavy strains than that. So basically, I think what Ruben was getting at, though, is that being wise has the same economy as being a little stinker. But I get what you're getting at, Ruben. You're saying it's just like being a little stinker. If you're a big stinker, you must also be a little stinker. Earlier, I determined that in fact I was a little stinker. As Ruben put it, an entire small town voted on the issue. It had over 800 votes on that. Thank you, Ruben R. Thank you. It had over 800 votes on that poll question that I asked. I have never had a poll question yet anywhere close to that many votes. I don't really play games online. Occasionally I'll play chess here on stream. Like, say, okay, does anybody want to play me chess? I have done that in the past. I've played Minecraft, you know. I have Minecraft. I bought it, and I've played it on a few occasions. But I don't really like to play video games anymore. If I had a console, I'd be down to play like Madden, you know. I like American football as a video game. Good for you, Boba Fett. I am so proud of your butthole. Sounds like you and your butthole are going to be real, real good friends. So, yes, the septic tank repair is going to cost a little bit more. But I like Oakhurst Plumbing. I like talking to them, and they basically, you know, the guy we talked to today, he taught me a lot about a lot of stuff. Actually, this is a guy who really, really likes to talk about septic tank plumbing. I mean, you want to talk about a plumbing nerd. This guy told me so much more about septic tank plumbing than I ever wanted to know. Yeah, that would tell us who's wiser. Because the wisest person always wins chess. I'm assuming it's you. I'm actually concerned that they might be revoking my wisdom certificate soon. You know, because I've done a couple of unwise things in the last few years. I was a little concerned about getting that call from the state wisdom certification board saying, bro. Jeff Higginson is up getting pizza. It's on evenings like tonight where I really wish we could order a pizza. I don't feel like cooking. I don't feel like driving to get something. I don't feel like eating microwave stuff. I could totally go for a delivered pizza. But we are so rural in our location that we don't even have any Uber Eats, no DoorDash, not even Domino's, no pizza delivery, nothing. The only thing we can get delivered here is groceries. Uh, they have that. There's a service called like, I don't know, like grocery bag or something like that that delivers groceries to your house. That is available here. Um, but it's too much more expensive. It's not worth it. So we just end up getting the only thing we get delivered here is Amazon, Rachel's packages. Uh, all weed grows like a weed. Okay, Padawan Range Bear Bender. That's like saying this tomato plant grows like a tomato. Well, of course it does. God, I'm just ignoring the A. Okay, obviously weed grows like weed. Say something we don't know. God. Intelligence is knowing a tomato is a fruit. Wisdom is knowing it doesn't belong in a fruit salad. I actually, Padawan's range bender would say, knowledge is knowing a tomato is a fruit. Intelligence is distinguishing between knowledge and intelligence. And wisdom is not putting it in a fruit salad. Oh, look at this. This Hollister fellow, he sent Rachel another package. I think he might have a crush on her or something. Hi. Hey, I'm Gilly Hicks. You may think you know me, but that me was just going through an experimental phase. Hollister. It's what's for dinner. All right. So, knowledge, intelligence, and wisdom. 3 different terms. And were up to me, I wouldn't have any of them. I would have neither intelligence, nor knowledge, nor wisdom. I'd just be in blissful ignorance all the time. Well, it's starting to cool down outside enough that I could almost need a jacket right now, but not quite. I can get by without a jacket for, like maybe another 45 minutes or so until it gets too cold for that. Those are some birds squawking. Just if you wondered what that sound was. There. That's fine. It sounds kind of like frogs down there. I think it's just crickets. I don't think we really have any frogs up here. I've never seen any actual frogs yet, anyway. But there might be some frogs around somewhere. There certainly are plenty of squirrels. And squirrels are known a lot of times as the frogs of the trees. In a little bit, we'll go back inside. And I feel as though I have not quite cleared out every bit of my poo backload. I may have a little bit of an after poo or two left in me. It's been a day full of pooing, but at no point did I have anything that qualified as a full colon blow. It's been a piecemeal affair. To enjoy a fully realized colon blow is every man's dream, including mine. So Rachel's back seems much better. It's not perfect, but she's much better. And it seems to be on the tail end of her cold as well. Before I started streaming, I was watching Level 99, the villainess is not the demon lord, but she is the final boss, the hidden boss. I was watching that. I was very pleased because Patrick finally kissed Yumiella after her, like, socially, like, her kind of weak FE not getting it. She finally understood that Patrick likes her because he kissed her just as the fireworks went off. It was very romantic. My eyes got misty and I said, "Squee, ooh." It was good. I was really happy that they didn't string it out for till the end of the season, you know. I was wondering what you were gonna do with that Padawan range bender. I think my art read pedantic today is about as good as you can do with it, really. All right, everybody. I tell you what, I am a little pedantic about, and that's my poops. If you've been around here for a while, you know a lot about my poops already. I've got good news for you. There's still more to learn. Well, go ahead and teach us then, Eric. I didn't say there's more to learn right this second. Just in general that there's more to learn. Normally, Padawan range bender, I try to avoid retorts from myself that are quite as snappy as that one. That probably felt a little bit like an attack. So I'm sorry about that. I didn't intend to attack you. You know, sometimes one just picks the fruit in front of one's face before one realizes what one is doing. Those are called the laws of fruit pick. Well, good job me. I pooed and peed. I'm gonna be happy. Wee hee hee. Viper the Gamer, hello. Luigi Amora. Liga heart to you too. Ben Tan. Ben Tarn. Roo. Peace. Well, Padawan Rangebender may be living his best life. You know what I'm doing? I'm not living my best stream right now. I'm not going to lie. It's both a little slow in terms of me and a little slow in terms of you. But that's okay. Not every stream can be my very best stream. Hello, Oleg Gibson. Hello from America, California specifically. I have actually been to your country. I've been to Moscow and St. Petersburg. It was like 94, 95, something like that I went. Hello from Humboldt, California. And hello back from Mariposa, California, also known as right near Yosemite. Ass Crack Burger 69. It's a classy name you got there. Nobody's gonna dispute that. That's the kind of internet handle the Queen of England might have. It's your Gmail, actually. Ass Crack Burger 69. Wow. Your asshole is throwing up diarrhea? I am pretty sure you did not spell that correctly. You spelled neither asshole nor diarrhea correctly, which is fine. I could still make out what you mean. Jade Pelilos. Hello, Russia. Hello. I am America's formal greeter. Hello and Strastvi. I've got a little bit of a hand cramp, actually. I don't like that. I don't love that. Satan loves Russia. Biden is bad. Russians aren't commies anymore, asked Crackburger 69. It's been a long time since they were commies. Now they're just a kleptocratic dictatorship. Can I ride on your back like a horse? Well, no. And it's only in part because horses actually never ride on my back. So there's no way to do it like them, you know. Hey guys, just giving the chat an update. He is telling a story on how he took it in the butt when he went to prison. Well, you know, actually, Ashton, that is a defamatory lie. I've never been to prison, and I never took it up the butt. So, it's a double lie. Hello from Morocco. Hello from America. To Thales. Hi, Hirad G. I am fine. How are you? I hope you're doing well. And I'm confident that someday you will evolve into Herad H. Again, that was would I rather fight a lion once a year with? That was just a bull. We didn't have any concentrate on it. Would I rather fight a lion once a year with any weapon apart from a gun? Or every time you get in your car, there's two really angry chickens? Well, I have a question. When I get in my car and there are two angry chickens, can I just shoo them out of the car? In this case, I do have a regular lighter at my disposal. Okay. But I use the torch because this bong, for a number of reasons, really, I usually use the torch. Uh, One of them is that this bong is very cloggy, and the torch helps it be a little less cloggy. Another is that I don't always know where a lighter is, so I never put this lighter in my pocket and walk away with it. The chickens remain in the car until you've defeated them or they defeated you. I don't think the chickens are going to defeat me, probably. I think I'll manage to get them out of the car. But I'm going to go with the chickens one. Okay. I don't trust my ability to use any weapon well enough to kill a lion at all, including a gun. So, I mean, maybe a grenade. But even then, I don't know. I don't trust myself to throw it to the right distance where it's going to blow up the lion, but not me. How am I doing today, sir? I'm doing well. You know, I talked to the septic people. It was a little bit frustrating to end up paying $650 for an inspection that's already been done. But so it goes. So it goes. Am I responsible for evolution? I think so. I'm pretty sure. Listen, here's a question evolutionists need to answer, and I think I've got the answer to it. Where does evolution come from? It obviously evolves from something too. I think I'm the one in whom evolution finally evolved. Ergo, I'm responsible for everything. Because it's not like evolution just came out of nowhere, right? It had to evolve from something. Am I chemistry? Yeah. I'm chemistry, biology, physics, and math. What do you think about that, Carlos, babe? I couldn't be any more science. No, it's just me, asked Crackburger69. You had nothing to do with it. Because I started evolution. That's why I asked Crackburger69. That's why I'm old. Obviously, I'm like 4 billion years old. Yes, there was something wrong with the subject, but we already knew that. The only change in the information we got was that, in fact, contrary to the previous septic inspection, that all three leach lines are root intruded. So, um, and I learned more about the permitting process for vacation rentals. So this septic repair is going to end up costing us about $2,500 over the top of what they credited us, the previous owners. This is not unexpected. This has all been factored into the overall cost of the thing, right? Like I knew we were gonna have to put meowing, 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 right?
Hi, handsome.
Um, Hi, beautiful. How are you?
I'm good. I'm tired, but good.
Yeah, I was a little slow waking up today as well. Um, but I wanted to answer this question here. As per Rubens used the term the other day, Neil and Fauci have been retconned. Okay, that's part of my evolutionary powers. I can retcon things. I didn't replace them. They never existed.
What does that mean, retcon?
It means actually they were never here the whole time,
Oh.
or actually it was always like this other way, right?
Oh.
Yeah, they did a whole episode of. Well, not the whole episode wasn't about retconning, but I learned the term the first time in an episode of Rick and Morty.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's the first time I ever heard the term. How was my day? Asks it's Harrison. My day is fine. River wants to know what we are talking about. Well, right now we're talking about your question, and the answer to it is so many different things. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, Rubenar. After I'm done with the bedtime story, after I sleep, I come back later, and usually when I turn the TV back on, the chat's still right there, and I look through it, see what people were saying. Most of the time, I don't do that, but with bedtime stories, I probably do most of the time. Um, so what I mean by that is, most of the time I live stream, I don't do that, but probably most of the time I tell bedtime story in a live stream, I do. Uh, you said my question. What was your question? What are we talking about? That was your question. How long do you think we have before our world turns to Venus? Infinity. I don't think our world will ever turn to Venus. You know, you can't get that hot just based on quote unquote greenhouse gases. You have to be a lot closer than Earth to the sun. Ask Crack Burger 69. Do not say that. Sir, meth is a hell of a drug. Yes, I've heard this from multiple people before. I'm going to tell you the same thing I tell them. It is indeed a hell of a drug. Uh, you know, sometimes I kind of wish I could still get it, but most of the time I'm glad I can't. Don't want to make any effort to. I don't think it's a good idea for me to get back into it or anything. It was a long time ago that I did meth, you know, on the reg. How about you, Johan? You do a lot of meth? Is that how you know that it's a hell of a drug? I'd recommend trying to lay off it, as soon as reasonably possible. Don't get stuck doing it for too long. But you do you, man. You do you. No, it's because I don't look like a crackhead like you. Oh. And that's why meth is a hell of a drug? Well, I gotta say, you're not making a whole lot of sense. So, you should really probably stay away from drugs. I don't think you're going to be able to handle the. You don't have much sort of mental capacity to sacrifice left, you know? Well, one day I woke up and I said, I'm going to start things today. Johann, you need to make up your mind. Am I a crackhead or a meth head? Boy, if you're going to go flinging around wild accusations, at least have them be consistent with one another. My goodness. Calling me a crackhead is just a defamatory lie. I'm not a crackhead. Gosh, Johann, I hope you're experiencing something fun today. Would you like to try again? Maybe do a better job this time. What do you think? Listen, ooh, ah, ooh, am I really just a crackhead? Ooh, ah, ooh, do you promise not to tell? Whoa, 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 crackhead. Well, I guess we'll find out. We will find out someday. Zion says cheers. Cheers, Zion. And hello to you, Nixter 10. I see you've got a pair of kind of nerdy glasses on. Johann Sebastian Koch. Wonder point for you, Ruben. Wonder point well earned, sir. Wonder point well earned. Johann seems to be at a bit of a loss. Is this not how you expected that to play out, Johann? Did you expect something different? Listen, ooh, ah, ooh, am I really just a crackhead? Ooh, ah, ooh, do you promise not to tell? Whoa, whoa, crackhead. All right, let's clean the top of the bong. Jealousy in here? Yeah. We are seriously jealous of you, Johann. What else could it be? We are jealous of you. We're jealous of the way you enter a room so boldly. We're jealous of you and your totally mindless certainty about things. Who wouldn't be jealous of you? I mean, maybe the Queen of England's not jealous of you, but people like me, obviously, I am green with envy. You're the guy who walks in a place and calls someone a crackhead and stuff. Of course I'd want to be you. Everybody loves that guy. I'm sure she's jealous she's dead. No, there's a new Queen of England. Tony Hawk's Norwegian Wasteland, okay? Her name's Camilla. 3 minutes. ESTP bully tactics. Oh, me? Am I bullying Johann? Yeah, they just keep replacing them. They just keep replacing them. That's how it works. That's how they do things in England. You might think they'd be like, finally, we're rid of this queen thing. Nope. They're like, here's a new one. I am holding up just fine. Thank you for asking. I just had a nice cleaning of the hands with some rubbing alcohol. I am, of course, absolutely nothing of the sort. Hey, how's it going? I'm trying to find a chat room for him where they don't have moderators, people with wrenches by their names signifying thought police. Well, this is a pretty, forum. This is a pretty free and lenient live stream. There are lines you can cross that'll get you timed out, and there are lines you can cross that'll get you banned. But um, well, because I don't have very many moderators, and in general, my moderators know where my lines are. So, you know, sometimes it gets busy in here, and I appreciate their efforts. I'm not always paying attention to the chat. And there are some things I don't want in the chat, you know? I can think of a variety of things I don't want in the chat. I appreciate the work my moderators do. But like I said, my moderators are very restrained. So I would suggest, Stephen Tracy, that before you assume that this place is going to represent the behavior that you find so appalling, actually let it occur first, you know? I tend to give people a fair amount of rope. Well, yeah, I mean, this chat is moderated, right? It's not a free for all. It's not a public space. You have no reasonable expectation to a right of free speech here. I function as an editor, essentially, right? And the people I have as moderators, I trust to be moderators. But chances are, for almost all of those people who are moderators, the way they became moderators is they asked me if they could post a link, so I temporarily made them a moderator and then forgot to unmoderate them. That is probably how most of the moderators became moderators. No, no, I can always see whatever, even when a moderator removes your comment, I always look at it and see if they made the right decision or not, based on my understanding of what the right decision is. Well, no, I mean, free speech is not all about the speech you disagree with the most and you find most offensive. That's not true. There are plenty of forms of unprotected speech. You need to have a more nuanced understanding of what free speech is. There's protected political speech, obviously, and that has importance of a certain kind. There are protections for, say, commercial speech, protections for a variety of things, but no thing that is a lie is protected speech, for example. Nothing defamatory is protected. Well, like I said, Stephen Tracy, I would suggest that before you indicate to me that this place is over moderated, you allow that phenomenon to actually happen first, right? And remember, this is my YouTube channel. I don't want all kinds of speech here. For example, I don't want pornography here. I don't want pornographic language that's a bunch of explicit stuff about sex acts, right? So I eliminate those comments. And because I want to maintain my discursive space in the way that I want to maintain it, not in the way that you want me to maintain it, my free speech rights are best upheld by my maintaining that discursive space, right? Well, you are never going to find any discursive space of any value that doesn't have some kind of some kind of moderation, right? If it has no kind of moderation at all, then it becomes a cesspool of spam, commercial speech, links to pornography, etc. Again, if in fact, because people feel more or less comfortable in an environment based on the kind of speech occurring in that environment, especially when all of the functioning action of the environment is speech, as in this case, right? I just answered the question because this is not just a space in which I want to put the burden on the viewer to moderate their own chat, right? I don't want to do that, and it's my space. So if you support free speech rights, you support my right to maintain my speech environment the way I want to, right? Or are you just a hypocrite? You are one of the famous people that I'm talking to, Rick Martel. You are. Now, are you going to respond to what I said? I answered your question that you said I wasn't going to answer. Are you going to respond to what I said? No, I'm not trying to cloud the question. I'm saying my free speech rights include policing my discursive environment, right? Trying to cloud the question. What a intellectually dishonest person you are. You said I wouldn't answer the question. I answered it directly, and then you said I'm trying to cloud the question. So yeah, if you're just being trolly, I guess, and pretending to engage on this topic, then you're doing a good job of it. If this is your serious engagement on this topic, you are doing a terrible job of it. Okay? You got to be more nuanced than that, dumbass. Right? You got to be more nuanced than that. If you want to have any real intellectual engagement with a subject, you also need to be a lot more disinterested about it. You clearly are very married to this position of yours. You're never going to get anywhere that way. Yes, you've already told that it implies the possibility that someone's speech might be censored. And I've told you that's how I choose to exercise my right of speech, free speech, in this discursive environment. Now, can you respond to what I said? Because I will end up hiding you if you're just going to be ignoring what I say. I'm responding to what you say. So now you need to respond to what I say, or else you're not playing fair. And I don't like that. And I will hide you, okay? So that nobody sees you. The thing is, it's not possible for me to make it so I can't see you, but everybody else can. So if I don't want to see you, what choice do I have but to hide your stupid fucking ass? Asswipe? Jesus Christ. Thanks, Abe Roman. Thank you. It's a beautiful evening, actually. It's a lovely, lovely evening here in Mariposa County. And my kitty is here on the wall, but you can't see her. I already answered that question. Have you answered my question? I explained to you how the moderators came to be, and that it was not because I wanted people to hide or remove comments or anything like that. It was because they wanted to post links, and they've been around here a long time, so I trust them with the power to post links. So listen to the fucking words I say rather than just repeating the question as though I haven't answered it, dumbass. Okay, well, you've not even had anything happen to you. Why are you complaining about the moderators around here when the whole time you've been here, not a single chat by anybody has been moderated? Why don't you, as they would say in the courts, have no standing yet to complain about anything? You're complaining conceptually about moderators before anybody has incurred any harms. So, no, asswipe, you need standing to complain about shit like that. Not just conceptual objection. It's like, people won't let me come on their YouTube channels and just spew a bunch of nonsense endlessly before they eventually like time me out or something. The moderators do. I hate it. Okay, well, this isn't that place, dumbass. This is like the least moderated YouTube channel you're ever gonna find. So take your battle someplace else. If you want to fight somebody who's all ultra moderaty, you object to the very concept of moderators. My moderators weren't made moderators to moderate in the fashion you imagine. You know, if you don't cross any of my lines, I'll probably let you spout off indefinitely. I usually do. Yes, it is a form of censorship. Remember, censorship is not inherently bad. For example, if I invite you over to my house, I don't have to, I have no obligation to let you speak indefinitely without kicking you out, right? You can't filibuster me. Just think about it. There's a difference between private spaces, public spaces, and some combination of the two things like this YouTube channel. And they operate under different standards. We are protected by the First Amendment from the government passing laws preventing especially political speech. It does not prevent individuals from setting discursive standards within environments they control. And it shouldn't. And it's not a good thing either to have uncontrolled discursive environments or discursive environments where the only control lies in the people in the chat to selectively not see the comments from certain people, right? Yes, that's a good power to have, but I also want to control the discursive environment. After all, it's mine. And I get to control it how I want to. I don't go on other people's YouTube channels and say, you have to listen to me talk in your chat. After all, if you want unrestrained speech, start your own YouTube channel and talk like I'm doing. I get to determine the lines here on my channel. Why don't you do the same thing on your own YouTube channel? That's called actually exercising your right to free speech rather than just bitching about other people and how they exercise theirs. As Ruben said, I never said I need mods. And frankly, I don't think I do need mods. I have people I trust empowered to do things that mods can do. And that's okay. That's my prerogative. But if only when big YouTube channels use hate speech, they sell their channels up. I mean, I doubt it, how he acts. I mean, they may sell their channels up, but um, is that why I have moderators? Because I got a vaccine. Yeah, it's always fun around here, I tell you. Okay, that's how you interpret it as an implied threat of censorship. I'm telling you directly, with no implication necessary, yes, there is language that will be censored around here. And I'm not going to hide that fact. If you interpret moderators as, evidence of that fact, well, you don't need to see any implication thing, right? I think it's insane to call it a vaccine, right? Vaccines prevent you from getting a disease. That thing was no vaccine. No, I'm not saying I need moderators to stop, like, say, pictures of pornography, but yes, I do get spam stuff sometimes, like hot teens xxx.com or whatever. I do periodically get that stuff. I don't want those links here. I don't want my chat to be spammed with porn links. Is that okay? I've already answered this question. You're just ignoring what I'm saying. I'm just going to start ignoring you, Steve. It's ridiculous. I already answered your question. I don't need moderators. I have them because I trust these people, you know, and they use their moderator status mostly to because they post links to things. Winston's mom posts relevant links to stuff people are talking about all the time. She does the job of Googling stuff for me and linking it. It's an important job. It has nothing whatsoever to do with censorship. Yeah, he's just talking in circles, you know? The thing that can be frustrating is I've talked about that fact. Yes, I acknowledge that ability to block someone individually themselves does provide solvency for the viewer, but it does not provide solvency for me. Here you go. You get your first time out, okay? Now I timed that person out because, as I will tell him, the reason I timed you out is you need to be more interesting than that. So anyway, I responded on point to what you said, and you just ignore what I say. Okay, you're just lying now, right? I don't go on and on about pornography and all this other stuff. You say you know that. Um, well, I don't expect you to be scared, but if you're annoying enough, I'm going to just hide you and then nobody will see you here because I don't like annoying people very much. Yes, I did get the vaccine because they wouldn't let me see my dying mother in the nursing home unless I got it. No, I did not believe in the vaccine. I said way back when in February, March, when it first came out, that this vaccine was not going to work because of the kind of virus it was. And I opposed the lockdowns very vehemently. So, Stephen Tracy, you're just throwing around just I've rarely encountered somebody as intellectually sloppy as you. You're just all over the place. You're not responding to anything I say, and you will end up getting hidden here, right? No, I understand your point, right? And that's good. That's good solvency for those people. But I get to choose solvency for me too. And I want to have moderators. Okay? So it's true that the viewers can choose to do that. And I can choose to make that burden be on them, or I can choose for me and moderators as well to moderate the channel. I choose the latter. Remember, free speech rights, right? You want to respect them, you need to respect my free speech rights and my right to exercise this discursive environment how I choose. Yes, you keep repeating yourself, but you're not saying anything. You're not saying anything new. You're not responding to anything I say. You're just being a liar. So I'm not going to respond to you. You're just going to keep lying. Okay, I'm not a government asswipe. I'm Eric. All right. Sure. Ask your question. 200 hertz the ghost. Like, normally this live stream is a very pleasant experience. Right now, I think for most people here, it's not very pleasant because I'm arguing with you. They're probably all wishing I would just hide you already, right? But I'll let it play out a little while longer, Because, see, what I have here is a community of people that many of whom I consider genuine friends that I've been engaged with for years. It's not just my environment, it's everyone's environment, right? And I'd like it to not be littered with a bunch of trash like the shit you're saying. I get it. You don't like moderators. Okay. Yes, I do feel comfortable in an environment where I have control over it. That's also why I'm doing this in my house rather than, say, at a restaurant somewhere. I prefer doing it in an environment where I have control over things. Of course, doesn't everybody prefer that? I just wanted to ask how you feel about Donald Trump. I'm not voting for Trump. Absolutely not. I am not pro-Trump. I'm also not pro-Biden. I'm Alviso. Hello, how are you? I am fine. Thank you for asking. Steve, Tracy, you're kind of being very contrary to the whole experience. It almost seems like you're arguing just to argue. Boba says you're feeding the trolls, Eric. Well, like I said, I'll let it play out a little while longer, but not much longer. He's an interesting enough, distinct troll to worthy a little attention, but Wow, Steve and Tracy. Wait a second. Are you pointing out that everybody has the ability to make it so they can't see your chat? Wow. Do they also have the ability so they can make it so that they can't hear me respond to it or read it out loud? I get it. They could also mute the live stream and turn off the screen. Then they could neither see, hear, nor read anything that goes on in here. That's a great idea. It's true. If everyone wanted to avoid you entirely and my engagement with you, they could all leave my live stream. That would be wonderful for me. That's exactly what I want to have happen. Right? And through this all, nobody's even moderated him. What do I do for a living? Not a whole lot. If you were voting for one, let's be real, Trump had done more good for the country when he was elected. It's a tough call for me. If I had to vote for one, I really dislike both of them. He has moderator syndrome. Moderatophobia. Moderatophobia. Moderatophobia is what he has. He has a pathological, well, actually, I answered all your questions directly and on point, but you are a dumbass and cannot tell the difference. Yeah, we do still hear me respond to it, and we hear what he's saying when I read it out loud. So, he seems to be stuck on repeat or something. I don't know. Like, he's not sure what to do. At this point, he's usually been hidden, but he's run out of all of his material and just keeps repeating the same thing. Yes, you've already said that as well. Implied threat of censorship because there's a ranch. Why do you need moderators? People can hide what they see themselves. You've already said those things. I've already responded to them. Yeah, the thought police. Right. Thought police, ranch by their name, censorship. Gotcha. What else are you going to say? And you say that isn't what moderated, but what matters is that you still have moderators in the room. I do still have moderators in the room. At one of these moments, one of them may even moderate you. Anybody feel like timing them out for 10 seconds? Let's see what happens if we kick the hornet's nest here. I, I think he's going to just have some sort of PTSD freak out if he gets timed out for 10 seconds. Hi, Lady in Red. Isaiah Brood, welcome. Yeah, I know. It's like after you time, after you time him out, you're just gonna be like all stuttered, like, and you see what I'm saying? At least now, yeah, his thoughts have been policed. The thought police are here. Uh-oh. Thought police. Here to prevent him from saying the same thing again. Otherwise, we might fail to hear the message for the 100th time. I don't know. Let's support our local police. Well, anyway, it seems like we really did trigger some kind of PTSD response there, huh? Are you okay, Steven? I think you killed him, Ruben. I think you killed Steven. Oh, it's funny stuff. Remember, Steven, people around here mostly get timed out for being boring. And you had become boring. Or it's the aesthetics police more than the thoughts police. You got to be more interesting artistically than that. You know, if your medium is trolling, fine, but you need to do it more interestingly. Can't expect me to endure performance art. Yeah, do a lot of exercise during the day. Run, run, run all the way. That's what you got to do if you want to sleep well. I will. Yeah, you know, actually, Boba, that's good advice. Rachel, can I have a cloning? I'm looking forward to another good night's sleep tonight. Stupid is as stupid does, idiot. who greets people like that? Hey, can I ask you for advice? Yes, come on, my Kyle. Ask me for advice. I want to get a real good nice sleep. Well, it's still gonna be a couple hours till it kicks in. Connie's slow acting to acting, you know. Hi, Trouble. You're a silly boy. Is Rachel in here or upstairs? Looks like she's upstairs. Probably was too loud down here with me live streaming. Yelling at Steven and whatnot, you know. What am I here for? Why did I come here? Oh, to get half pumping. You know, I want to make sure I've got my dopamine reserves as replenished as possible in anticipation of tomorrow's Adderall. What's called the Adderall Experience, presented by Chevrolet. Okay. Now that should have a generally calming effect. And additionally, the reason I'm actually taking it, what's going on here? Are you two cats getting along okay? That's unusual. Trouble was looking at Capilla, who's down there. You may be able to see her. And they weren't fighting with each other. Usually, Trouble's not cool to Capilla. Trouble! 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 Hold on, I gotta go stop that bad cat. Well, they're both in the bedroom now. Because I just let them deal with it themselves. Capilla could have gone out the cat door into the garage. So maybe he's not feeling very threatened. I don't know. The revitalizing release of urine. All part of nature's circle of life. Water goes in, pee goes out, birds drink my pee, then they pee out water again. That's how it works. The circle of life. Hey, oh, yeah. And then, after the birds pee out water, what happens to it then, Papa? Well, obviously, we drink that water. We drink bird pee? That's one way to put it. What we call bird pee, they call water. What we call human pee, they call water. Oh, I see. It's like a tipsy-topsy. Exactly. It's just like a tipsy-topsy. Well, I am going to need to eat a little food. I got this out earlier so it would defrost. It's now defrosted. I think it'll eat. I'm going to turn off this, at this point, quite old corned beef. I don't want to do that. My cat mother can give birth to kittens from different fathers in the same litter. Really? What sluts? I think we can agree cats are huge sluts, huh? Yeah, trouble is a bad mamma jamma. No Uncrustables for him. I didn't even see what he said. Either of the last two times you timed him out. You timed him out so fast, and I didn't even remove anything. How do you ask a guy out? Go like, hey, so I'm really hungry right now for food that, I don't know, you buy for me on a date? Like that. That's how you ask that a guy. I hope that answers your question. I'm not sure what gooning is. Instead of saying, how do you time somebody out who's not saying anything? How did dating work for trouble studies? Well, the guy would be like, hey, just killed an antelope. You want to come, eat some of it with me? It's a good question. Good point, Winston's mom. I'm sure the guy with, oh, I see. Which is the guy with moderator syndrome takes every phone call he receives and listens until the person on the other end is done speaking in full. Doesn't matter how much of a sales call it is, until they say, okay, goodbye, I hang up, then he will continue engaging them. Maybe he went somewhere else, which is where he belongs. How old are you? I'm 52 years old. How old are you, Braxton T? Braxton. That's a very fancy sounding name. Are you from, like, imagine there being a fancy family named the Hughfields. You're Braxton T. Hughfield. Fancy person. On a scale of 1 to very fancy, how fancy are you? He would say grug, then the girl says grok. I grok, I grok. Is that what they say? No. I do not have a drum set, no. You ever been too strung out? I'm not sure what that means. I've been too gacked out. You know, like, boy, I'm on a lot of amphetamines. But I haven't been that kind of gacked out in a long time. I've not ever been strung out, like, in the conventional sense of being addicted to some kind of opioid, or anything like that. I never liked those kind of drugs. What's your favorite thing to do? This is my favorite thing to do. It must be because I do it all the time and I can do whatever I want. I could go fishing, I could go to Yosemite, I could take out my little wilderness car, went to the mountains, and what do I do all day? I sit inside, smoke bowls, and live stream. So it must be my favorite thing to do. I'm not good at determining my favorite thing, but I really like playing music too. Have I ever been too yacked out on terpene alkaloids? No, I don't think so. Not sure what terpene alkaloids are. So yeah, this is my favorite thing to do. What are my thoughts on tongue chewing? I do it. It's something that I never did before I did amphetamines, and that I do now sometimes, even when I'm not on amphetamines. Yeah, I'm not a terrible tongue chewer, but like when I go to lie down to go to sleep, I'll do some tongue chewing as kind of a self-soothing thing that puts me to sleep, I guess. But even now, you know, when I start an Adderall bottle, if I'm not careful about getting enough sleep and stuff at the beginning of it, I'll kind of my mouth will get kind of torn up after a few days, you know. So I think it's a pretty good way to tell if somebody is tweaking if they're going like this, you know. Do I like K hat? I don't know what K hat is. I've never heard of K hat. If I were forced to get a piercing, would I rather have my tongue, my nipple for sure. I think a fairer question is nipple or middle nose. Two collared tweakers? What are two collared tweakers? What's the difference between them and one collared tweakers? Their eyes too, if they make sound effects while they're driving, it's a good way to tell if someone's rolling off the addy. Yeah, okay, well, I've never taken it, so I don't have any opinion about it. I think I will put up a poll though. Middle nose, okay. So I'm just gonna put middle nose, which means this part here. All right. Which would you rather get pierced? Nipple, middle nose. Nose like a bull. To explain how that goes, like a bull's nose piercing, right? All right, let's find it out. Like your nose taint, yeah, the part between the two holes. I mean, it's like a woman's nose taint. Hi, Maricela Vallejo. The septum. I thought it might be called septum piercing, but what I'm thinking is, why don't they just pierce the part right here below the septum? Why do they have to go through the septum? it doesn't make a lot of sense that they'd have to go through the septum. I can feel a place where you could pierce right here, like that's piercing this part, but not the cartilage part. Would I pierce my Ulissa hole? No, I wouldn't. Mad Scientist Tuning says, "You, I'm glad I found you again. Your story earlier was funny." Well, thank you, Mad Scientist Tuning. And Amelia Girl Preppy Only 245 is back from dinner and shopping. What did you get when you went shopping? A farmer would put a ring in a hog's nose to stop him from rooting or tearing up the ground. I'm sleeping right now. I may not have fallen asleep, but I have shaved. Okay, no thank you. We're not talking about that, okay? Have I ever torn apart a dryer? No. Oh, you mean like a clothes dryer? Uh, actually, I haven't torn it apart, but I did fix my dryer. Yes, it was broken and I fixed it. You got some new clothes and some preppy skincare? Did you go to Hollister or did you go to Abercrombie and Fitch? Where did you go? Tell me, Amelia Girl Preppy Only 245. Did you go to Abercrombie and Fitch or did you go to Hollister? Or is there even a third store? Did you go to Free People? Where did you shop at? I want to know. Who are you wearing? Who are you wearing? Hollister? Mm-hmm. Bam. I got on the number one guess. Bam. 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 Rachel got some new Hollister stuff today from the mail. I knew a girl from Kansas City. She got freckles up on her titties. Her name is Frecky Tittles. Frecky Tittles. Sephora. Huh. Color me wrong if I am, but I believe that it's a makeup store. From what Rachel told me, I believe that's the makeup store that's having problems with 10-year-olds. Or perhaps it was, what was the makeup store that Delilah worked at, Rachel? Was that one called? It wasn't Sephora, was it? It was that other one. Remember, it used to be up there by the party store and the PetSmart that we used to go to in Pasadena near the Best Buy. H&M and American Eagle is home of the single stitch. Ulta, right. Which one? Frecky Tittles. You better patent Frecky Tittles. Someone will make a screen name. I like the idea of someone making a screen name of Frecky Tittles. I'm correct with both 10-year-olds. Ulta. Yeah, my daughter worked at Ulta. She used to. But yeah, Rachel was telling me they have a problem with 10-year-olds running in there and like getting makeup all, just like getting their hands all in the makeup and stuff. Cringe Krugy. So did you have to wrest your makeup products from the hands of some sticky fingered 10-year-olds? Brew. Frecky Tittles is the actual Christian name of the girl who had freckles on her titties, just incidentally. Her family name, her last name was Tittles, and they decided to name her first name Frecky. Just turned out that she ended up to have titties with freckles on them. Good luck getting a job if you have a bull ring. It probably depends a little bit where in the country you are, you know. You ever have any? No, I never have had that actually. But thank you for asking. So I saw Rachel trying on some new kind of bell-bottomy looking jeans. Just thought you should ask. Okay, fine, fair enough. Eric, you need to get Dior Suavage cologne. Well, do you think it'll make me smell more suavage? Yeah, Rachel's got great taste in clothes. She doesn't need any Dior sausage to have great taste in clothes. It wouldn't surprise me if the game that the guy with moderator phobia is playing is like to wait until to provoke as much as he can until finally somebody times him out, and then to spitefully lay in wait, hoping to find something to report. That's conceivable. That would be something that somebody like him might do. Well, not too worried about that because I try to run a clean ship, as far as community standards go and stuff like that. If I'm susceptible to that sort of thing at all, then it's inevitable if the channel continues to grow that it's going to be subjected to that. So obviously, I tend to err on the side of caution. Yeah, it's a very pleasant evening. Really nice out today. It's almost getting a little too chilly to be outside without a jacket. Under here is still fine, but out there I'd be a little chilly. I'm not gonna live stream for a super long time tonight because I do plan to watch the second play-in game to the NCAA tournament. I mean, could in theory live stream and watch some of that at the same time. I think it started at this point. Yeah, it has. I'll turn it on and see the scores. I probably do want to give it my full attention in the second half, but maybe not. We'll see how I feel. It's so encouraging to me to have all these new people stopping by. Well, I will when I get around to it. Yeah, it's a sort of trash that I need to basically dump in one specific trash can. Hooey. Dan says, Ben Barch, you should be a voice actor. Well, thank you, Ben. That's very nice of you to say. I feel the one thing I feel sad about regarding my teeth is that I can't enunciate as well as I used to. I've tried multiple possible solutions, Boba Fett. That's actually the best solution I have. Are you the true alpha? Respond honestly. Yes. Charlie Art Stuff 278. If you insist I respond honestly, yes. I hate it when people say that. I can always make a joke out of it otherwise, Where I could play, well, really, and sort of make arguments for subjective stuff like that. But the answer is yes. Have I ever waylaid anybody? No, I've never waylaid any part of anybody. Host Eric also offers live typing. I don't really. Please don't push that. I, I'm really not feeling it at the moment at all. Uh, what's my favorite alpha routine? I don't have any routines. I'm the true alpha. Routines are beneath me. You're in a grocery store, stocking items on the shelf. A customer comes up and says, "Can I take one of these?" What's your response? Yeah, sure. Here, I just hand him one. There you go. I saw this metal band guy who had a nose piercing with a chain going from his nose to his earring in his ear. Well, that's how he made sure his nose and his ear didn't get too far apart from each other. What do you think? What do you think the response should be to that question? I'm really interested in where you're going with this, Skippy Jomo 32. I can't remember the last time somebody asked me such an interesting and strange question. There's got to be someplace you're going with this, right? I mean, I'm going to assume the guy knows I'm not giving him permission to steal something, right? Meow. What? What do you want? You want me to let you outside? Or do you want me to watch you eat? Probably wants me to watch him eat. He's in the band where the guy is like, me loco, me loco. Is he actually loco, do you think? Or does he just like El Pollo Loco a lot? That probably explains it here, Lam. I don't know if you have El Pollo Loco wherever you are, but he probably just likes El Pollo Loco a lot. It's not bad, El Pollo Loco. Recently, I used to go through the El Pollo Loco near our house in LA. Periodically, we just get burritos, though. We wouldn't get the chicken, per se. I mean, there was chicken in the burritos, obviously. But oh, thank you, Charlie Art Stuff 278. I like art stuff, too. I'm into art. Do I do skincare? Yes. This is years of relentless oil of Olay application. This time, thank you for not asking me to respond honestly. I don't know what any of that means, but I do get the part while Eric blazes up the torch. Hey, you know what, Bob UFO? Don't be dissing Popeyes, okay? I I like Popeyes. Granted, they never have anything. You know, if you go to Popeyes and you order, say, their chicken sandwich, 50% chance they're going to be like, oh, sorry, we're out of chicken sandwiches. There is that going on with Popeyes. That's true, Winston's mom. Rachel Strauss is my favorite. Otherwise, I don't play favorites, okay? I do play anti-favorites. Like, sometimes it'll be like, I probably won't say it, but I'll be like, I don't like that person. But, you know, invariably, those people end up getting hidden from the channel. They're just being nasty for too much, you know. Too long, I just go, it's not worth it. It's because that lady was taking all the chicken for her restaurant. That's a great joke, Rachel. That is a great joke. For those who never heard about that, there was this lady in Washington, D.C., and she had a soul food restaurant, down home soul food cooking, you know. It was popular until one day some people caught her employees bringing in Popeyes into the back door, and it was revealed eventually that her famous fried chicken was always just Popeyes. Just, you know, made for like a fancy lunch restaurant with like sit down service and stuff. Okay, what am I doing in here? What are we doing right now? It is time for me to make rice because I want rice. Now, we don't have any sausage. Normally, I like to put a sausage in a pan, fry that up, do sausage fried rice. I'm going to see if we have some kind of alternative thing that I can put in the rice that would also work as a meat. The only meat I have is either hamburger patty or old corned beef. I could do a little bit of corned beef fried rice, you know? It's not the most commonly tried combination. I think I'm going to chop up a little bit of the corned beef. Sure, it's been in the crock pot for several days now, but it's been on at least warm the whole time. It's fine. So maybe I'll try that. I think that sounds pretty good. Rachel, if are you there? If you are there, I don't have an egg, unfortunately. But I think this corned beef fried rice is going to taste good. Rachel, will you eat some of this if I make it? Well, regardless, I'm going to make a cup of rice. Even if she doesn't want it, I'll just probably eat. But I'll make her a bowl, and if she doesn't eat it, I'll eat it later. So, I don't need her explicit permission to make enough food for her. Because I'm not going to require her to eat her portion. That's how these kind of things work, you know. All right. Making fried rice, a crash course for beginners, hosted by host Eric. I'm talking with famous people. What's the first thing you were gonna need to make the fried rice? You were gonna need one of these. It's a measuring cup. What does it measure? Well, it It measures basically anything you can pour. One cup of rice. That's all the rice you need for 2 whole people. And just kind of like coincidentally, it happens to be exactly 1 cup. Explain that. Tell me there is no God. If there's no God, then how come exactly 1 cup of rice is the right amount of rice for 2 people when back in China when they invented rice, they didn't even have cups? Explain that, huh? I'll tell you why. Because God, that's why. I'm going to wash my hands now. Good thing to do before, touching food that you're preparing for yourself and your beloved wife to eat. You don't want to give her botulism, salmonella, or poop finger disease by not having washed your hands enough. Alright, now I've washed my hands. What we need to do here is we need to jostle the rice. This jostling part of the process is necessary to declump the rice and to make it spread out all the way evenly to the edges. Okay, there we go. We are done. Now, let's bring this back over here. Give it a shimmy. We're going to turn it on full blast heat. That's FULLBLAST full blast heat. And so that we don't forget about it, I'm going to put on a timer for 6 minutes or so. It's going to take longer than that to come to a rolling boil. But I remember the Deftones. I don't think I liked them at all. I am not the singer of Korn, okay? I'm definitely not the singer of Korn. And I will additionally say, I think that Korn is bad. The band, not the food. Okay. I got a little face water going on. This should help us all feel a little more refreshed. And, of course, we got the rice cooking, which is great. Well, where's the second? Yeah, I'm looking for the second, the second NCAA playing game. Ah, it's here. I see where it is. I will start from the beginning, actually. I'm going to start from the beginning here. I'm going to mute it. Mute it with my muting finger. It's important. Oh, wow. Wagner versus Howard, that first game. Oh, no. Oh no! Oh no! They had multiple 3-point shots to tie it at the end, Howard did. But they ended up losing to the Wagner Seahawks by 3 points. So now Wagner is going to go to the main part of the tournament. They've successfully navigated the play-in game, earning themselves the right to meet mighty North Carolina in the first round on Thursday. Ooh, this is my favorite sports time of year right now. Slick, is that you? I thought I lost you back there, bro. Didn't the Viet Cong take you out? Don't tell me they stitched you back together, bro. I can't believe it's been this many years. I was a 7-month-old baby in my diapers. Army green, of course. Semper Fi. Marine green, I should say. I guess I was in the Marines. I remember you, Slick. I remember that day. You just greased a bunch of Charlie, a nest of them. You turned around and said, "Can't wait to get back home, Sarge." And that's when you took the bullet. Thought I lost you, bro. So everyone, I just wanted to introduce you to Slick here. He's back from the platoon I led in Vietnam. Man, he took out a lot of nests of Charlie. I saw some cute creatures while jogging, and not only talking about wild animals either. Oh, when you saw the cute non-wild animals, did you slow down your jogging and look at them like this? Hey, ladies. As you jog slowly by, flexing your muscles. That's the way to do it, Hero Lamb. You bought a Mustang with all the money you got from deployment, huh? Well, you probably have heard. I made the mistake of buying a shrimping boat. Which one did I pick? I would actually pick nipple. Because it's not on my face. It sounds more painful to have done. I wouldn't enjoy the process of getting it pierced, I'm sure, at all. But I would rather, if I had to consistently wear a ring in one of the two places, I would go with nipple. Wreath 13th. Hey y'all. Hey y'all. Chad Linton. Hello there. Hello there. Caroline. Hi, Winston's mom. Winston's mom. Hi. Nipple piercing is more discreet and has a lower chance of getting boogers on it. It's an excellent point, Ruben. That is a really excellent point. Let's see who's winning the poll. I haven't actually checked to see who's winning it yet. So anyways, in case you didn't glean this from my story, I was not actually in Vietnam because I was 1 year old during Vietnam. Oh, well, that appears to have been adequate time to bring it to a full boil. I don't go too long. When you're standing here, time goes by so fast. When you're sitting over there, it goes by so slow. I mean, vice versa. What does Cat want? What does Cat want? Does Cat want a thing? What does Cat want? He wants to go out there. What does Cat want? Alright, there you go. Cat gets what he wants as usual. He's the kind of cat who puts you down when friends are there. You feel the fool. So middle nose is winning currently, but it's a tight race. It's a tight race. 84 votes. Obviously, this topic is not as compelling a poll anywhere close as my previous poll, which asked, am I a little stinker? And that received over 800 votes. The people have spoken. I am a little stinker. You had a nose piercing when younger, it looked good on you. But was it a middle one or was it one of these side ones? I'm not talking about the side ones. I think that would have too much of I think that would have too much of an advantage over nipple piercing. Right? Right, but here, Lamb, I'm asking, did you get it pierced here, or did you get it pierced here? Did Winston's mom ask me a question about something like that? Oh, does Vincent Gallo have any piercings? So about Vincent Gallo. I had the septum pierced. It wasn't too bad. Just had a smell about it. Bob UFO, isn't that called a pearl job? Oh, that's gross, Bob. I used to see guys with brow piercings fairly frequently, but not anymore. I don't know what it's called, but I don't want anything to do with it. I can tell you that right now. Oh, Ruben, no. That's a horrible idea. A shallow inner butt to grundle piercing. No. Neither, you loser, says Mad Mike. Well, you are Mad Mike. So what's made you so angry today? Is it just my loseriness, or do you have some other source for your anger? Is it just universally so? You're always angry. Are you on drugs? I'm not on any drugs that look like those. Those kind of look like extra strength Tylenols. Most people must have both piercings and thus eliminate themselves from the poll. Yeah, well, you make a good point. I'm pretty sure they're Tylenols. We're both learning at the same time, Winston's mom. Obviously, people can still yank my chain sometimes, as did the guy earlier with his weird anti-moderator fetish. But I'm learning to not be so reactive as I used to be. It's kind of, I am learning it, but it's also just an inevitable desensitization process that follows from encountering this kind of like mindless, you might call hate breeding. Instead of like good evening, it's like, fuck you! Well, thanks a lot, Winston's mom. That's nice. I'm obviously still a work in progress too. The more I see the different permutations of provocation that can manifest, the the more I okay. Well, thank you, Rachel. Listen, divorced truck driver, don't get yourself timed out. All right. Yeah, was definitely not interested in engaging. He was just ignoring what I said as though it didn't matter because he wasn't getting the answer he wanted from me. His position was, you didn't give me the answer I wanted, therefore you didn't answer my question. Have I ever heard the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise? No, I never have heard that tragedy. I get Christians ads all the time on YouTube Mobile. Hey, would you like to become a Christian? Well, let me introduce you to a little someone called Jesus. I'm used to that from the debate channels, and I have little patience for circular arguments. Some of the debaters I've observed use the same script year after year after year and never learn a goddamn thing. I thought not. It's not the story the Jedi would tell you. It's a Sith legend. Darth Plagueis was a Dark Lord of the Sith, so powerful and so wise, he could use the Force to influence the midichlorians to create life. Huh. There's one YouTube ad where some guy's like, I know you're in the middle of something, but I was wondering if you would take a couple of minutes to pray with me. Do you ever take a couple of minutes to pray with him? Caroline gets that one all the time too. You guys need to get YouTube Premium. Compared to some other streaming services, YouTube Premium is pretty cheap. Hi, John Anderson. Thank you for subscribing. I don't pray with people who I don't know. That's a good policy, Walter. You can't trust the purity of their prayer product. It might be cut with fentanyl. You know? You don't want to think you're praying, regular prayer, only to discover it's been cut with fentanyl. I have had a lamb hero, and when I see that name, I remember it was the best one yet. It was your best lamb? Did it ever become a sheep? The point is that the Christians who put up those ads, they're probably not just trying to advertise to benefit their channel, but as part of a general evangelistic value that they're upholding. Whether or not they should uphold that value or not is another question, but I would suspect that's the reason for it, Hero Lamb. They think they're doing God's work, Ooh, I can smell the rice cooking. Yes, I can. I can smell that rice cooking. I'm gonna fry up some fried rice, and we're gonna cook it all together. I think it's a paid app or something. Well, Mark Wahlberg is in one of them. We got about 9 minutes left on these here rice. I'm not gonna. I don't need to really start the frying part early because I'm not cooking any raw meat. I'll start the onion part about 5 minutes before it's done. Roy Demio's brother. Well, that was a bad idea. I would recommend you go get it unpierced as quickly as possible. You don't want to have holes in your scrotum, okay? That's a terrible idea. The thing to remember is only so much of life can ever be about sex, right? Most of the time, it should be about something else. Having your scrotum pierced means you've committed way too much of your resources, ideas, everything to sex-related stuff, which ultimately is just, it's all just the same thing. A succession of insertion hikes and extraction hikes on the original Naked and Afraid. Soldier Boy, Kiss Me Through the Phone was a great song. Kiss me through the phone.
I love you, Eric.
I love you too, Rachel. Would you like some fried rice in a little bit?
Yeah.
Sounds good. I'm gonna fry it up pretty quick here.
I'm excited for it.
I agree. That's a pretty good song. Soldier Boy, Kiss Me Through the Phone. It's a pretty good song. I wouldn't call it one of history's greatest, but for its genre of thing, I think it's quite good for its genre of thing. I do not think that Joe Dirt was a good movie. Well, Isaiah Reed, I've already subbed with Talking with Famous People, but I'm currently logged in as Eric Strauss. Let me see if I'm subbed as Eric Strauss. Maybe I can successfully get you to 50. Yeah. Rachel, you and I agree that it was not a good movie. Isaiah Root is board certified, okay? That means I have gone to him in person and stamped a what are those people called? They like say this document's official Rotary. I stamped a Rotary public stamp on Isaiah's forehead, classifying him officially as an ENTP. So you can believe him when he says it. Tommy Boy, I remember enjoying some. Black Sheep maybe I also enjoyed some, but I did not like. Okay, I liked Happy Gilmore when I saw it originally. I rewatched it with Rachel and liked it a lot less. But it may be. It's possible it's one of those movies that's only good the first time you see it. But I think my tastes have evolved a bit since I last saw that movie. It's like Adam Sandler seems to think, and then I punch him in the face is comedy writing. I'm familiar with the title Tin Cup. I may have seen the movie, but I remember nothing at all about it, Lady in Red. As you see, it's not even dark yet outside, but I got my jacket on this time. It is 62 and dropping, according to the weather thing. All right. Partial solar eclipses, though, Darlene, I hate to tell you this. Partial solar eclipses are very dangerous to look at because you're still getting cornea damaging brightness from the part of the sun um, that's not eclipsed. I'm not sure I'd recommend we make an effort to look at the partial eclipse of the sun. Or a partial eclipse of the moon, that would be fine. But yeah, we need to get those special glasses. If we get those special glasses, we could do that. If you want to do that, we can get those special glasses. You're an ENTP, okay? And just because I got you wrong at first doesn't mean I'm wrong now. You know who I think, which is kind of like strange in a way. I think that INTPs, INFPs, neither of them is a good match for an INFJ relationship. Now here I am saying ENTP is the ideal match for an INFJ, but I don't think INTP is a good match. How can that be? Well, because I got to experience that countervalued NI thing. That's not a stained glass door. It just has bevel cut windows. It looks colored just because of the outside color. It's actually just frosted glass. It's actually just frosted glass, clear glass. It just looks blue because it's kind of blue outside right now. So it still looks blue even with the lights on, so that doesn't help at all. But trust me, it's not blue. How much? I didn't buy the door. I didn't buy the door, so I don't know how much it cost. I bought the house. They didn't break down the house price per thing in the house like that. Okay, so this much of the total house price is for the front door. I never heard anything of the sort from anybody. That would be a terrible way to buy the house. A la carte, you know. Yeah. This house is a little bit different than maybe some of the previous houses you looked at. We're selling it a la carte. So, yeah. If you want these cabinets, it's this much. If you want that toilet, it costs this much. If you want that wall, it'll be yeah. Put a couple carrots in here too. Why not? Let's go crazy. The prince says. But what is going to take some of this fat? Put that in there. I cut the onions so small. It's hard to find many of them, but I probably have sufficient onions there. I'll put a little bit of additional dried onions in here. Now, before I even put it into this pan, what I should have done, but did not do, but what I will do now, is chop up all of this stuff into small pieces. So, I'm going to get a cutting board out. Despite the name, it's not actually the board that you cut. It's the stuff that you put on the board you cut. Alright, so in general, when you're making Asian food, you want to cut everything into very small pieces. Because, of course, Asian food is designed to be eaten with chopsticks. Mr. Big Knife, where the hell you are? Here you are, Mr. Big Knife. Nice and shiny clean, too. Alright, now let's do the chopping / and cutting phase of the operation. You're going to see here the things to be cut, here the pan in which they'll be placed, and here we have the action of cutting them. You don't want big stringy pieces of corned beef. You want nice chopped up stuff that's going to be easy to evenly distribute among the rice. Because remember, we're not just putting this on top of rice. If we were doing that, we'd deal with things a little differently. We're making this into fried rice, okay? So, sometimes it's good to have another mian in the mix. In this case, the other mian is this. Okay. So, oh, look at that side. Had a lot of carrots on it. So, we're going to put this in here. So, we'll just push it off. Let me show you. You need to see the action. Otherwise, there's no point in anything. There. Gonna push all of that right into there. Before we even go any further, I'm gonna wash this cutting board and put it away. I don't want this task later There's no urgency in the cooking at the moment, so we're just going to deal with this right now. And that alarm tells me the rice has rested the minimum amount of time. If it rests longer than that, that's fine. So that doesn't impose any new urgency onto the moment. We will do that. All right. Clean cutting board. Happy life. That's what, instead of happy wife, happy life, what they should really say is clean enough kitchen, happy life. It doesn't have to be clean, but it needs to not be gross, you know? Like this floor in here, I need to mop it, but I have recently swept it, you know? I clean these counters periodically. I try to keep the kitchen top from getting too gross. We don't let dishes pile up in the sink. That's kind of like the bare minimum of clean kitchen, happy life. It doesn't have to be super clean, but when you let it get all gross, you know you're letting yourself go, you know. There. Okay. Now, we're going to marry these flavors. That's right. We're going to render some of the fat out of the corned beef, because I made sure to get a fatty piece so we get a little bit of grease out of that, you know, which we will use to provide the necessary oil in the fried rice process. Now, I know this is going to bring a little onion flavor into the mix, but I'm going to also hit it with a bit of these. Just chopped onion, dried chopped onions. These will moisten as I mix them with the rice, the meat, the soy sauce, you know. I'm going to put a little garlic powder in as well. It's going to help add flavor. It's already smelling delicious. It smells so good, actually. Right. I'm going to put a little more soy in because obviously I'm not anywhere close to worrying about it being over soyed yet. We're going to need to add an additional good amount of soy to it once we put the rice in. But in the meantime, we're making good progress with that. Good enough to move on to the next step. Operation Rice Put. I've got my rice scooper, the best way to scoop out rice. And I was a little afraid I let it go too much to a rolling boil. But I'm seeing here that this is actually the most correct rice I've made in all of my recent rice makes. So I'm going to try that approach again next time. I'm going to time out the boil part for 6 minutes and go from there. It seems like that was the right amount of boil time. You know, cooking times and such are a little different up here in the mountains. We don't live super high elevation, but we do live over 4,000 feet, and that's enough to impact the cooking time somewhat compared against my flatland LA experience, you know. In this case, I got a little bit of that crispy stuff at the bottom, which if you do it right, you should get that. And I haven't been getting that really, so that's a great sign. All right. We've gotten out all of the rice. Before I even begin stirring it over here, I'm going to put this into the sink to soak. You need to soak rice right away. You don't want it to get all sticky on the side. It's like cereal in that regard. Alright, leave that sink running until it fills up. You can hear that rice is sizzling. Let's mix it around now. We're going to get a good amount of color just from the ingredients we have in here already with the soy sauce that they've been simmering in. But don't let that fool you into thinking, oh, maybe I don't need to add more soy sauce. Oh, yes, you do need to add more soy sauce, for sure. This isn't even close to what we're looking at in terms of color that we want on our fried rice. Okay. That's probably getting pretty close. You need to spread it all around so that it gets evenly brown bits, all the bits of rice get an even coating of soy brownness. So after you stir it around a bunch, and stir it around a bunch because the soy brownness will spread more than you think. But after you do stir it around a bunch, to the extent that you still have white patches and stuff, well, that means you're going to need a little bit more soy sauce. As you see, the more I stir, the more evenly brown distribution you get on the rices. But I can tell this is going to need just another dabble or two of soy. And then that's operating under the paradigm that says we're leaving room to add more soy sauce after it gets to the table. So I'm just going to be fairly careful with this last addition of it. That should be sufficient right there. Now, the breakup in the clumps that you encounter, those clumps are going to be fighting against your ability to get even brown distribution. And that's what you're going for. This fried rice is going to take less long to fry up than some of my previous fried rices for two main reasons. One, this rice is cooked more properly. It's more properly done. And two, because I didn't make a raw sausage, I didn't need to sous vide it a bit first to defrost it so it didn't take forever, you know. And accordingly, the stuff that I'm mixing into the rice does not have as much moisture in it. tell you, a lot of the Chinese restaurants, other potential purveyors of fried rice, I'm not impressed with their fried rice. Okay, this fried rice is better than fried rice I get at restaurants. All right, let's get a couple of bowls. You know what? Let's go for these bowls, shallow bowls. One scoop. One scoop. Looks like Cajun red beans and rice, but it has no red beans in it at all. However, I must say I think it's looking delicious. And I, for one, am excited to eat it. Alright, now I'll put these three things in the soaking rice water. And bring this and these over to the table, come back for silverware. You know, I was talking with Rachel about love languages the other day. And I was saying, you know, I think maybe my number one love language is acts of service. And she said, I thought it was quality time. And I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot about quality time. Yeah, I guess it's that one. But what I realized since then is actually I like to receive my love language in quality time. And I like to speak my love language in acts of service. You could say I see her quality time as an act of service to me. Okay, John dear, you're getting timed out, not from being like age inappropriate or whatever, but for being boring. I've heard that 1,000,000 times now. So Rachel, the food's ready. It was one of my acts of service. Mm-hmm. That's right. Smart trolls get to continue to play with us. Dumb trolls get excluded. The cat is not for sale. Right, those are the ones you like to speak, right? I think we need to distinguish between how we want to speak our love languages and how we want to hear our love languages.
Thank you.
You're welcome, you're welcome, you're welcome. I'm going to touch your puss all night, 'cause
I
that's
always-
my love language.
Every time that you do that, I want to meow, meow, meow. I always go into like lovers do.
It's understandable that you would. Bob UFO's love language is Guapanese.
Yeah, like I really like flirting with you. I know that we're married, but I still like to flirt with you.
Well, I'd like to flirt with you too, darling.
Thanks. Let me get a drink.
It's like, if you got this dish at a Chinese restaurant, you would never guess that this is pot roast fried rice. It means corned beef pot roast fried rice.
Yeah, there's just like pork fried rice, so.
Does this taste anything like the pot roast? The corned beef and pot roast? It just tastes like
Fried
Asian
rice.
fried rice.
Yeah.
Water says, Kay, this is disgusting. You're easily disgusted, Kay. I mean, water.
I don't have enough in here that you'll eat, Trouble.
Ruben R. I think you and I need to have a conversation about what flirting is.
Oh my gosh, that's like second grade or second grade flirting, you know, like when like the boy is like kind of like teasing the girl or mean to the girl instead. Never worked. Not for me anyway.
Is Counting Crows dance, is it really kind of a variant of the Axl Rose?
Wait, what?
Is the Counting Crows dance in Mr. Jones' video, is it really a variant of the Axl Rose dance?
I don't know. I didn't know that they danced in that video.
He just does his Counting Crows thing.
Flowing dreadlocks.
We're going to have to look at this dance. I have to review it.
It's understandable, Ruben.
Pulling a girl's ponytail probably isn't going to work either.
But that's how some people do it.
Okay. So I'm now going to have to look at... I need to look at the... I need to look at the Colorado State versus Virginia. I need to look at the Counting Crows video and you see what the dance looks like.
Oh, here it comes. Oh my gosh.
Oh, sha la 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 la. We're trying to learn the dance here. Oh, I think it might not be too difficult because it might just be him going like, eh.
Are they a San Francisco band?
I don't know.
Oh, here we go. Oh, yeah.
He's got his hands in his pockets, but it didn't stop him from dancing.
No, he's bopping around like nuts. Whoa, 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 whoa! I didn't know he danced in this video. Great. Yes, yes. Yes, yes. Oh my god, he did so good.
That's his dance. His dance is so bad, even I can do it. And I can only do a couple dances. I can do his dance. I can do the Axl Rose. All right, do that dance in the future. I'm gonna say, everybody do the Counting Crows.
You have to let your jacket fall off of you.
Oh, my jacket's falling off just one shoulder.
It's interesting that he really likes to bop.
Mm-hmm.
There's like, I like how there's like no Mr. Jones in the video.
Maybe Mr. Jones is a metaphor.
Oh, maybe. Whoa, whoa, whoa!
He's really getting down.
He really is.
And I'm sure after this video, it's like, man, I wish I could have gotten a jacket that would stay on my shoulder better.
And he's like, I'm feeling it. Like,
Yeah. Playing some air guitar.
there's Mr. Jones. Yes! Yes!
Well, it's less cringy than Corey Feldman.
Yes. Oh my gosh. He's just
He's just not good at it. He's not
feeling
expressly bad at it.
right.
You know?
Where Corey Feldman's like trying, you know what I mean? Like he's trying to have some sort of aesthetic.
This guy's sort of trying to not have such an aesthetic, but it necessarily has an aesthetic. You know?
Yeah. It's just coming out. It's just all over the place. He can't hold it back. Yes.
Oh, dancing,
Bop, like,
moving.
I didn't know that Mr. Jones was that much of a bop. What other songs do they have? My sister likes Counting Crows.
I don't know.
Whoa, whoa.
His jacket was almost all the way off.
Yeah. That's what I was whoaing about.
But he never quite loses the jacket. He's got, overall, throughout the whole video, you say, all right, good job with your jacket control, ultimately. You had some close calls, but it never fell off all the way. They've got quite a tour schedule coming up. Why?
Mountain View, California. I'm sure that's not too far from us for some reason.
Yeah, it's probably relatively close to us. I don't care if it was right next door.
Right.
And free.
Oh my god. You want to go?
No.
Oh my gosh, my parents were such suckers for a free show. We saw Sheryl Crow had a free show once in like Massachusetts.
They're like, hey, we just saved like $50.
Yeah. They're like, my parents loved music in the park. Like if there was a park and like someone cover bands, real artists, not that.
They just liked the experience of going to a park where music was being played.
Yes. The atmosphere.
Oh, it's so lively with people.
Yes. My dad still goes. this day.
Mm. Levi Samuels is here. Bluey lover. Go do your word search, sir. Can you go do your word search? Oh, I see. What you're saying is because I am too old for your likings, that therefore I like to do word searches. I'm not a huge fan of word searches, actually. Oh, I'm not sure how strong a correlation there is actually between being old and doing word searches.
Hey, Levi Samuels.
What is good? All that is just, true, beautiful, and righteous. That's what is good, Levi Samuels. That's what is good.
I never went to Woodstock anything, but I heard about the Woodstock '99, and I heard it was a mess. Like,
Just like the original one.
yeah. The original was a freaking mess. Disgusting.
So, when today I see a model fashion show where models were wearing black electric tape on their body, and it was called Black Tape Fashion Show.
No freaking way.
It was shocking. Ooh, I'm fresh out, Adnan. Please, I could use some adrenochrome. I'm going to pretend like it's synthetic and you didn't take it from babies. But
It's taken for babies.
Don't ask, don't tell, I always say.
Yeah.
Don't ask where they get the adrenochrome. Have your feelings about word searches developed over in your recent years? No, I have the same disinterest in word searches that I've had since I was probably like 9 or 10 years old. I may have been interested in them before then, but even then, I doubt I was that interested in them.
Even that's like me and well, I was never really. Well, sometimes I'm into word searches. I get if it's like People magazine and it's all like celebrity stuff, I could do it easily. But like other than that, word searches. Wait.
Word searches are just the block of letters.
Oh, and then you find them. That I can do. That I'm actually not bad at. But that's like me in Monopoly. At like 10, I was like, this shit sucks.
I mean, look, Padawan Rangebender, you're on the right track, but the proper recipe is 2 fingers worth of adrenochrome, a splash of Angostura bitters, a maraschino cherry, 2 ice cubes, and just a touch of tonic water. Mwah. It's called an adrenochrome tonic. Yes, I was disinterested in math growing up. It just seemed a bunch of repetitive tasks I was being assigned with no clear purpose for what these tasks were for.
You want to be watched or watched?
Or what they meant. More importantly, like what they meant. I mean, it will on me, Lady in Red. I've kept my model physique all of these years. All right. Just watch me walk across the room and tell me if you can spot any difference between me and the moment's hottest supermodels. I don't think you're going to spot a single difference, okay? In body, in movement, in anything. Models never look directly ahead. It's always to one side or the other. Now watch me turn and walk the other way. See those swaying hips? You only learn that ability to sway your hips at model school. Okay?
Yeah, it's true. That's when I learned how to swing my hips.
Yeah. But you probably saw I was swaying almost 90 degrees in each direction. That's how powerful my hip sway was. And if you want to be a model, the first thing they tell you in model school, if your hip sway doesn't reach at least 75%, 75 degrees, you're not model material. I can do you one better than that one, says Mom. I can walk with a PDF on my head. Get with the times. That's old-fashioned training mechanisms you're talking about there. We've evolved beyond that. Thanks to Darwin. Thank you, Mr. Darwin, for letting me evolve.
Oh.
Careful.
Yeah, that could have been a weird thing happening.
Or it could have been a fun disaster.
Fun disaster.
Like, that.
It's so low.
Just, fuck you, horrible fan.
It's weird. It's so weird, though, that, like, you totally knew that these were new. Because I think of fans being dated, thought that they were the original ones.
I just don't go with stuff that obviously is original, like this beautiful thing.
No, you're totally right.
You could argue this might be slightly dated or whatever, but when they put that in, they picked something much more timeless, right?
Yeah.
Just like the lamp in there. You could say that one's a little dated, but it's still much more timeless.
It is.
So, yeah, there's horrible people. They're horrible lamp decisions. They need to go to lamp traffic school where they learn what lamps go with what house. Bop it, roll it, shout it, squeeze it, pull it, bag it, meek it, meow it. Who's looking through your window? I'm looking through my window. Here's the window. Unfortunately, I'm not seeing anything when I'm looking through my window because the shutters are closed. Looking through my window is proving utterly pointless. If my goal is to see inside, anyway. Oh. Agreeably, I feel like the clonopin kicking in, slowing me down, chilling me out, making me into the man that I always wanted to be. Boff it, blow it, boo it, boof it, bop it, bring it. Bring it on. Is that the name of that cheerleading movie? The funny thing is, about that guy's arguments earlier about like free speech and stuff, his basic position is if there are moderators here, it has a chilling effect. He may never be capable of expressing it as such. But that's the potential. And he was trying to establish that yes, he has standing without any harms because of the implicit chilling effect of there being moderators. However, the thing that he seemed to be missing is that obviously it wasn't chilling him at all. It was doing anything, nothing could have been further from the sort as it chilling him in his speech. Chilling effect is when someone's afraid to engage in free speech because of potential censorship harms, you know? What's your accent? Where are you from? I'm from California. So I've got a bit of a California accent, you know? I kind of talk like this a little bit. Yeah, I didn't necessarily always pronounce all my words normally. And I kind of, mush a lot of things out. Because I farmer. I just like whatever. Because that is exactly how everybody in California talks. I did grow up in a valley. I didn't grow up in the right valley, technically. Ski, California. I'm a ski, California kind of tastes person. It's where I live now, up here in the mountains near Yosemite. But I actually used to live in Los Angeles, which is closer to the beach. But even then, I was still a mountains guy. I much prefer the mountains over the beach for a variety of reasons. One of them is this: I don't like getting sand on my feet, especially, but on really any part of me. I just don't like it. I don't like sand. I don't like getting salty in the ocean water. That just seems like I'm all sticky. I can wash off in this little shower here, but then what? I'm just going to get a bunch of sand on me. These are my objections to the beach. But, yeah, I can say bombaclat. I could even go ahead and say skibbity bombaclat. I could discuss my riz, my gat, the whole 9 yards. In fact, I'm going to share with you a special treat that only sometimes I share. And it's just for you, you spammy person, Jason O. Okay? Don't blink, you might miss it. This is just for you. Yeah! I hope you enjoyed it. Everyone wants to sit in sand, but nobody wants it up their rear. Well, Lady in Red, I will tell you this. I don't want to sit in sand. So your first statement, everybody wants to sit in sand, is false. I don't like sitting in sand, even if it just gets on my butt cheeks, you know?
My dad's the same way.
I'm just not, I don't like the feeling of feeling dusty. And sand is generally pretty dusty. Most studies have shown most instances of sand are actually like 40% dust. It's true. Okay, let's watch the kitty eat. All right. We're gonna watch you eat. See what you do. Enjoy the sights while you chew, chew, chew. Okay, there you go. Skibbity bombaclats. Here is all the action you want. Every bit of action you can imagine wanting, even if you were to live 1,000,000 years. You'd say, this was all the action I ever needed. The truth was in me the whole time. Oh, kitty man. You're such a skibbity bombaclat.
Wants me to prove that I'm your wife.
Okay.
I'll give you a kiss.
I mean, I would not consider that proof of matrimony.
No, that's true.
We could show our wedding rings, that would be a little bit better.
Yeah.
If we really wanted to prove it, we'd have to probably bust out our marriage license.
I don't know where that is.
Here are our wedding rings. She has on her wedding ring and her engagement
Yeah,
ring.
I like wearing both.
I like the fact that you wear them both because the engagement ring was more expensive than the wedding ring, so I'd really rather you wear that one, you know?
Yeah, I never take it off. It's the only thing that I like consistently wear.
Yeah. You weren't insulting, I don't think. If you just
No,
asked
you didn't insult
Rachel,
me.
if you just asked Rachel to prove that she was married to me, then that's fine. Yeah, that's not insulting. That was just
No,
skeptical. That's fine.
I do like that. Yeah.
Yes, you could see her ring up close if you like. I'll tell you what I'll do. You leave it on your hand. I will position this where you can see it. And I'll zoom in a little bit. And then I'm going to hit it, hold your hand up a little higher, and then I'm going to hit it with the flashlight. See if that helps. No, it doesn't really help, huh? Instead, it kind of hurts. How about if we
There
come
you
at it
go.
from here?
Yeah. See, it's really pretty. I love my ring. We went into the store and I saw it and I was like, we were thinking about getting tanzanite from his grandmother's, uh, what do you call it? Not a lockbox.
Safety deposit box.
Safety deposit box. And I saw this ring and I was like, can I maybe get a diamond instead?
Yeah. Yes, you can. Yes, you can, my darling. And the guy at the jewelry store, he seemed good at figuring out what a person's taste was. He had her pegged right away. He's like, you like this ring. And she's like, actually, that is exactly the ring I like.
Yeah. Like literally, it really was. And it's my size too. It's a 5.5, which is small. Like they didn't have to size it.
It is 1 carat, not 2. Yeah, we have a big piece of tanzanite that I inherited from my grandmother. That's, I think, a big piece of high quality tanzanite.
Yeah.
but it's still kind of a semi-precious stone. The face of meth. Is that me? Well, I may have the face of meth, but I have the heart of heroin.
Yeah, it's 1 carat, which is like great. I don't need a. It fits my hand perfectly.
We didn't need to pay the premium you have to pay for over a carat. When you get over a carat, it
Yeah, a lot.
gets more, you know.
And this wasn't art. I don't like to admit it, but it wasn't cheap. Like um, even though it was just a carat, it was. I don't want to mention how much it was.
Anyway, do what do we do for work? Well, we're getting an income property ready to operate as a vacation rental just down the street. And that's what we're doing with finances at the moment. Once we get this one up and running, proof of concept, etc., and see it play out as I anticipate it to play out, then we'll get another one and repeat. And that should be fine for us, you know.
Yeah.
In terms of running a positive cash flow. So that's what we're doing. And of course, the work we're going to be doing in doing that, after we get it, the initial setup part, is just maid work. We'll go over there after people stay, pull off the linens, clean, vacuum, clean the counters and stuff, and replace the linens. Then bring the old linens and towels and stuff back to here to do the wash, probably. So that's what we are doing. Oh, is silver price started to go up finally? I would like to invest in silver. Come on. Say bombaclat. I said bombaclat already. What kind of a skibidi bombaclat doesn't even... What kind of a skibidi bombaclat doesn't even hear when I've already said bombaclat? What drugs do we do? Well, Rachel and I both, since we've been together, have done all the same drugs.
Yep.
Anything that I've done, she's done too.
Yep.
Since we've been together, we've done DMT, mushrooms, whippets, Adderall, marijuana, ketamine.
Ketamine, yeah. How could I forget about that?
These dark web Adderall pills that were probably pressed meth.
Oh yeah, and those other pills that I'm glad didn't affect me because of my medication.
Oh, the
Remember?
fake MDMA?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that didn't affect me because of my medication. Aren't Quaaludes like ones where they knock you out?
I do breathe air, Jordan 16. I'm entirely unsure of where you would have gotten the notion that I don't breathe air. I would pretty obviously be dead if I didn't breathe air. Okay, what is happening? I just got here. Potato Man, it seems like I've seen you here for a while now, maybe. What is happening is I just did a quick survey of the drugs I've done in the last, times. Actually, I've also taken very weak acid. Rachel didn't take that. So that's one thing we didn't both do.
No.
What do you guys do when you're not streaming? Well, like earlier today, I had to go deal with the septic tank people at the other house. We have to get it repaired. We just closed escrow on that house not that long ago, and it came with some problems. It was a good deal, but came with some problems. I knew I was gonna have to put some money into it, and so not a big surprise. You know, another delay. We need to get the septic fixed before we begin the permit process with Mariposa County. So you know they have an ongoing study about oxygenated air being absorbed up the rear to help people breathe. Huh? You can boof air. You be fucking? Who do you mean, me and Rachel? Well, we are husband and wife, so yes, we engage in that behavior. My cesspool just caved in. Giant sinkhole in my backyard now. Well, sorry to hear that. We have a very good septic system here that was built in 2000. We have a kind of sus septic system at the new house. It was built in 83.
Yeah.
And yeah, I know. Well, that's kind of my benchmark at Winston-Salem is 10%. I guess Grateful Dead.
Yeah, that's what I would choose too. It's really tough.
Grateful Dead, but neither. Your cell walls use electromagnetism to determine what can and can't go in. You're talking about my cell phone? Or you're talking about my cells in my body? Right, and it's true that Winston's mom isn't factoring in the value of the home because I think what Winston's mom is trying to get at is if you want an essentially no risk, low risk investment, there's no way we're going to lose money on this, right? So in that regard, it's a very safe investment, like say a savings account or whatever, and it's going to have a higher return on investment. And you know, it just requires us to do work. We're going to maximize the return on investment for this sort of thing by living just down the street from the investment property so we can do the work ourselves, you know? Do I believe in vaccines? Of course. Do I believe the COVID vaccine was a vaccine? No. Vaccines prevent you from getting diseases. You know, like the polio vaccine, the smallpox vaccine, actual things that actually work. You know, like the mumps, measles, rubella vaccine that I got as a kid. Shockingly, I've never gotten mumps, measles, or rubella.
Yep, those are highly effective
for doing what a vaccine is supposed to do, you know? The COVID vaccine was, at best, just a failed attempt to make a vaccine.
Isn't it true? I never really understood, because I know that there's anti-vax parents, but isn't it true that you have to get vaccinated before going into the public school system?
Yes, it is. The anti-vax parents are people who generally their NI is running amok. So there's a tendency for a lot of people, when something bad happens, to have an almost pathological need to blame something
It's
external.
true.
And so,
That's what Jenny McCarthy did with her son. He has some issues, and she blames it on vaccinations.
right, because you can't accept that it's just either random, maybe links to if it's not something happened after birth, then she has to consider the possibility that maybe she's to blame for something she did
Yeah.
while she was pregnant.
Right. Yeah.
You know,
Mhm.
Ramzil Balgazin. Hello. I am not a huge Trumper, Boba Fett. Don't tell lies about me. Since my last stream, how was my nap? My nap was wonderful. During my first stream of the day, after that, at the end of that, I told a bedtime story, and that was a wonderful nap. Then, after we met with the plumber, well, then we came back here and we had the intercourse, and then I had a wonderful nap. Okay,
Okay.
you're done. You're done. That's not true. Michelle Obama is a woman.
I like though that you kind of compared her to like the same energy as Hillary Clinton. I think that's accurate.
I got a trash can there that I spit in. Actually, not on the floor, no.
No.
I did just spit, but not on the floor, into the trash can. Burb. All right, you burb. Yeah, I keep a trash can by the chair. Let's see what's going on in this basketball game.
Is it officially March Madness?
Yeah, well, these are the yes, and also these are the playing games.
What does that mean?
Well, it's a 64-team field, okay? But they actually let 68 teams in, and they eliminate 4 of them in the first 4 games. They're playing games.
So that it ends up being 64?
Yeah.
Okay.
So they let 68 in, 60 of whom are firmly decided. The remaining 8 have to play for 4 spots.
Oh, so that's what's going on now?
Yeah, so they're doing that right now.
Do I still have time to make a bracket?
Yes.
Okay, good.
We have time to make brackets until basically Wednesday night.
Okay.
And you don't have to make your bracket before the first 4 playing games. You have to make it before the first game on Thursday morning.
Wow, I can't believe it's here already.
I know, I'm excited.
It's been a while since we've watched sports.
Well, it is my favorite sporting event of the year. I love it. Well, these upcoming 4 days, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, are my favorite 4 sports days of the year.
So tell me why.
Because the tournament is still has enough teams in it that you have this onslaught of nonstop games. Some of them going on multiple at a time, right? So you can pick and choose your games. You can wait for something to look like, okay, an upset might be brewing here. I'll watch that game. Okay, now you know
Oh.
what? The favorite's pulling away, but over here it looks like this upset might be brewing now.
Yeah,
I'll switch to
so
that one. So you can, and if you lock into one that turns into be a really good game, you just stick with
yeah,
that one, and
that
you're like,
yeah.
oh my god, this
Yeah.
is what March Madness is all
Yeah,
about.
yeah. March Madness is so fun. The upsets, man, like you and I end up rooting for them, to
Right.
go continue through.
Yeah, of course. And then,
Yeah.
of course, there's the additional component of the brackets,
Which is
which
so fun.
you make up to 25 brackets, and usually through the second day, you'll have at least one of them that's still like, yeah, this one maybe is doing pretty
Yeah.
good. And then by like day 3, you're like,
Yeah.
okay,
It's like yeah.
now we'll
Yeah.
just watch
It's
the
like you
games.
wash. Yeah. Yeah. Just watch the games.
Just watch the games now. No point in checking my brackets
No, because
anymore.
you
They're
know
all
that it's
busted.
dead. Yeah. A lot of that happens to a lot of people, I think, where the brackets get busted. I mean, there's always going to be. I mean, as far as I've watched it, there's usually some upsets.
Well,
Oh, you
that's
alright?
a lot of coffees.
Yeah.
Well, it's just trying to get the last bits of phlegm out from this COVID.
Dude, me too. I feel it. Like, I still feel it.
It's a thick phlegm this COVID has. Thick as thick can be. Well, how good am I at basketball? I'm not very good at it. Okay. Who is that lady speaking?
Me?
That lady is my wife.
Hi.
And she does like to be referred to as that lady.
Yeah. Yeah. What? No. No, no. That's like crazy, Luminex. Like, Luminex, that's, I, that's not cool. Like, that really upsets me. It definitely would stoke a lot of fear.
I think it would stoke, legitimate upsettedness,
Yeah.
anger at people telling lies about you one way or the other. Oh, yeah, we're pretty comfy.
Yeah.
We are pretty comfy.
Yeah.
In fact, we're comfy enough that I'm going to wrap this up right now.
Michelle Obama, Taylor Swift, I like that Luminex.
Well,
Why? What?
probably people guess that because Taylor Swift was abducted by the North Koreans prior to being rescued by Winston's mom and her crack crew
Oh.
of commandos, probably they assume she was transgendered while a North Korean prisoner.
I gotta say, I like that. Taylor Swift, she claps back. Like, she doesn't really let things slide. She doesn't. She's kind of got a bit of sass to her, I guess, or whatever.
well, I mean, I'm sure it would go the other way as well. It does go the other way. When
Wow.
trans people say, I'm a trans woman, cisgender people say, no, you're not. You're a man who's pretending to be a woman. So it insanely goes both ways, right?
Yeah, being lied to.
Or lied about. I mean, that's the one kind of lying that's specified as a sin in the Bible or in the Ten Commandments is bearing false testimony. In other words, telling a lie about somebody else. That person, um, specifically testimony of something negative, right? Like, so when people come in and say, I saw that guy in the sex offenders list, that is a sin, not just a indignation, because that person is bearing false testimony. But not all lies bear false testimony.
No.
If I say, like, I met Prince Charles yesterday, but I didn't really. I actually met King Charles. If I hadn't actually meet King Charles, then that wouldn't be providing false testimony, because I'm not saying anything about anybody else, unless I were saying it in a way that was, I mean, implicitly it's saying something false about King Charles there, but it's not false testimony about him exactly, you know. All right, so if you're going to listen to the Bible regarding buying and selling of slaves, it's fine to do that, but it's never okay to provide false testimony regarding the fitness of the slave you're selling. So I have a slave who's actually got a limp and some health problems, and I say, oh, he's in perfectly good health. That's wicked. If I'm honest about the health of the slave that I'm selling, then that's fine. Maybe even an act of charity. Helping that person find work as a biblical slave, possibly to build pyramids. So, yeah. You want me to explain any other parts of the Bible to you? No, I'm not cool with slavery. You asked me to explain the Bible's perspective on slavery. I'm not cool with it, obviously. I don't agree with the Bible regarding that. Why would you? It's so patently wrong. In contrast, I do agree with the general principle of a prohibition against false testimony for very good reasons. So, ergo, it's not so much that I agree or disagree with the Bible as the Bible is either correct or incorrect where it agrees or disagrees with me, respectively. So, when you get your frame of reference on this matter correct, you'll see that the Bible's correct about false testimony being wicked because of specific mechanics implicit to what comprises false testimony, what comprises reasonable expectation of man, or what context, etc., right? Whereas the slavery thing does not win any arguments and thus is wrong. Because you know what they say? If you ain't winning the arguments, you're just spinning your argument. People sometimes seem to conclude that I answer questions they don't ask. No, I answer the question they did ask. Well, I think I pointed out one place where it's not bullshit. I already articulated one place where it's not bullshit. It is the case that bearing false testimony comprises something that enjoys the status of universal prohibition, moral prohibition, and thus, quote unquote, a sin. So, it's not absolutely bullshit. There are plenty of things in it that are bullshit, but not everything in it is bullshit. I just give you an example of something that's not. I'm not saying it's a great place to go look for wisdom or anything, but even a blind squirrel gets the occasional nut.
Ooh, I like that.
And that's one to grow on. But I think it's important to remember that the Bible was not written by God or Jesus. It was written by Jesus' dumbass friends. When we remember that, we get a little less caught up in this whole Bible thing. Now, finally, at long last, there. Listen, meow, meow, meow. Would you like to watch my cat eat? Meow, meow, meow. Do you promise not to tell? Oh, oh, oh. Closer. Meow, meow, meow. Will you whisper in my ear? Meow, meow, meow. Say the words I want to hear. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. So the words I want to hear, obviously, are meow, 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 meow. Let's see what's won the poll. Middle nose. Middle nose beats nipple by a nose hair. Okay, I am now officially feeling tired and shagged out following a prolonged squawk. And I think that means it's time for me to end this stream and begin to dream. First, watching the second half of this basketball game. Oh, I've been wrong about things. But what I'm not wrong about is my process of wrong, my relationship with wrongness. I'm looking to find spots where I am wrong, not trying to avoid those, right? I'm looking to find those spots so I can eliminate them. I'm not attached to my positions. I'm attached to being right. So, no matter how perfectly one executes the processes of correctness, nobody's ever going to not ever be wrong. I'm wrong sometimes. I'm human, you know? The difference between me and seems like just about every other person is whenever I'm wrong, before I ever heard about this in AA, I promptly admitted it so that I could quickly correct my wrongness and replace it with the correct position. A lifetime of doing that and a rigorous and consistent habit of behaving accordingly has made it such that I'm not wrong often, right? And when I am, well, that's just an opportunity for me to be wrong about one less thing. So therefore, somewhat less often. That's the process that one needs to engage in to be this correct. One needs to have the skills of case parsing and case construction and the disinterested calculus implicit in being rigorously intellectual about anything. I have all those things. Thus, I have attained the status of maximally correct for my, I don't have any more potential to be correct, right? I don't have any more growth in the process of correctness. I'll still be wrong occasionally, but I've maxed out my level. So, anyway, good night, everybody. Love you all. Don't forget to eat plenty of cheese.